What's going on, everybody? It's Nick Gaschler here again with my second 2022 NFL Draft film session. And after you saw my top 50, I introduced you to a lot of the prospects in this class. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. And I'm looking through guys that I want to make film sessions on, and Charles Cross stands out as one of these guys, and he's going to be your left tackle, number 67 here. I think Charles Cross is a high upside. He could potentially be tackle 2 in this class. Obviously, Evan Neal's going to be your first one. I think Akeem Ekwonu could potentially, I think he's going to be a better guard on the next level. So we look at Charles Cross coming out of the Mississippi State system for Mike Leach. They're passing 50, 60 times a game. Charles Cross turns into a very good pass protector. I mean, anybody should when you rep pass protection 50 straight times. And there are some run plays diced in here. We have this Bama game that I'm going to be breaking down here. Some plays that I like from Cross, some plays that I dislike from Cross, and how you can get better as a player. Right off the bat here, we showcases Cross's ability as a pass protector here. He's going to go against number 18 here. What he does is 18, right, we're playing a 3-man front, maybe a 4 if you count this guy come down on the line of scrimmage in the box, but pretty traditional 3-man front. You've got a 0 and 2 4 eyes. This guy's lined up at a 4 eye, so naturally he's probably going to go B gap. Charles Cross realizes that, and he's going to set inside and mirror him, right? But when 18 is going to counter outside, you can start to see his arm go like this. Watch Cross's hips. He's going to hinge right here and be able to perfectly mirror this defender and keep him out of the way of the quarterback. Cross's contact balance and balance as a whole as a pass protector is amazing. His feet don't get too far over to one side. Like, he sets inside to protect B gap here, but once this guy comes out, you see his hips flip super quickly, and he's able to defend against that. We'll get back into it here. So you're gonna watch him, right? We'll watch him set inside, then come right outside. Then we talk about hand placement. This may not be the cleanest of plays. You'd like to have Charles Cross's hands inside on the chest play, but this is going to work. He's going to grab the shoulder pad and be able to control the rep, right? And then he has that ability to use his leverage and ability to hold there, not let number 18 get free, and let number 2, Will Rogers, I think, get a pass off to start the game off. Great play from Charles Cross of being able to just mirror the defender, protect both gaps. That's really, really good job of being able to protect both B gap and A gap, because you see he tries to come back inside, and Charles Cross just follows him right in. Great play from Cross. And this next play here is another pass protection rep. We're kind of dealing with the same thing, except instead of a 4 eye over here, you're gonna have a 5 tech and Will Anderson, but you're still dealing with a 0 tech right here and then a 4 tech right here. So you're likely going to be setting inside if you're Charles Cross to protect that B gap. Just based on how the scheme is dictated, you're probably the offensive line. This is pretty zone blocking scheme type system. And that means every blocker has a zone, right? So Cross has this gap, 58 has this gap, 63 has this gap, as opposed to a man blocking scheme where Cross might have this guy, 58 might have this linebacker, this center's locked up, etc., etc., etc. But here you're going to see all the lines slide right to the strength here, which is going to be Will Anderson in this 5 tech. But what Cross does really well is when he sets inside, he's going to come in, immediately try and get into that B gap and protect it. You see his arm coming out here to protect the outside gap, but then also clamp inside. This guy's going to try and cross his face, and then 58 comes in and takes care of him as well. But then 48, Fidarian Mathis, who's a Bama defensive tackle I really like. We'll get into him as tape progresses. He's going to come around and switch. They're just doing a gap exchange, right? Fidarian Mathis, the 0 tech, does a gap exchange. The outside Cross reads that perfectly and is able to come outside and set outside to be able to engage with Fidarian Mathis here. And then Fidarian Mathis kind of just pushes him around a little bit, but Cross is able to drop his butt and waist and hips and be able to control the rep, right? You see Cross is going to be right there, is going to be able to snap down, drop his ass, and then be able to hold that rep against 48 Fidarian Mathis. That's a really good job of just being able to recognize that gap exchange stunt and being able to set to it. Just great pass protection on the left side. So here, Charles Cross, it's going to be a run. It's going to be a run play, a rare run play on the Mississippi State offense. But what Cross does a good job of doing is he has to go protect B gap and unwall this thing out. He's backside, so he's going to have to seal it out. And sometimes the best way to block people is not using their hands, but rather getting creative and being able to just seal people out. And this is what Cross does here. The foot speed and the athleticism it takes to get across, hit and be able to cross this vortex face, and be able to get in front of him, and then he's going to use his backside and wall him out effectively. You're going to see it right here. So he crosses his face while 18 is trying to get to B gap, but Cross doesn't let him do it. That's just a great job of being able to use his feet and get there in a couple steps, and then he's going to get fully in front of 18 and be able to just use his back and his just wall him out, right? Sometimes, like I said, the best way to block somebody is not using your hands and getting that vertical push. Sometimes it's more about being able to just be creative and wall people out, and that's what he did to 18 there, who could very easily, right here, if he beats Cross to the B gap, he's going to be in the backfield immediately and going to be able to get that tackle and chase down this running back on that toss. Cross does a good job of being able to step, so we're going to see 1, 2 before he's basically almost crossed his face here. We'll go back so you're going to have step 1, and then he's gonna, so that's the first step, and then he's gonna step here and be able to already be almost nearly across his face, and then finish right there by just doing a good job of being able to wall that backside out. That's a good job from Cross. He's not a perfect run blocker, but he has potential, and that's a play that showcases that type of potential. Now, there are some plays from Cross in the pass protection. I love him as a pass protector, but there are some plays that cause some concern. First and foremost, Cross really struggles to be able to with leverage early on. So if a defensive lineman is able to get his hands inside and on his chest early, Cross really struggles to be able to sit down and recover. The good thing is he does recover. He knows how to recover and sink his hips and create an anchor, but right here's a good example of it. The 47 is just going to have his left arm come in and jab Cross right in the chest, and he's going to take a step back. We'll watch the whole play before I break it down here. But he loses his leverage here, right? Gets pushed back and is able to sit down and kind of hold it and reestablish his anchor right at the second half of this rep to keep that clean pocket. But I'd rather have Cross be able to boom. There's the point of attack. He's going to sink his hips immediately and get down before he gives up too much ground. I'd rather see him do that. That's what separates Cross from a guy like Evan Neal, who's going to be able to do that immediately. I just need to see a little bit better leverage and anchor initially from Cross at the point of attack. I think that's one of his big weaknesses in pass protection. The good thing is, though, like I said, he is able to recover. He's able to sink his hips and keep his ass down to be able to recover right there and not let 47 bull rush him into the quarterback. Right, and here's the thing that I love about Cross: his length and his patience and his ability to hand fight with the defender, with a pass rusher. Here you've got 47 in a 4-tech. Cross is going to be right here. The ball is snapped. Cross does a great job of being able to stay patient and then read to it. He's going to work upfield and create that wall. Ideally, you're going to want that wall to go just like that, and that's how it happens. We're going to keep hand fighting. We're going to use our length to extend and keep 47 out of the play while the screen or the run is developing here from number 2. Cross does a good job, like I said, of staying patient. He could go in or out here. It really depends on the play. But Cross does a good job of coming out of his stance, getting eyes on 47 immediately to see where he's going, and as he sees he's going outside, he's going to start setting outside as well. Stays ahead of him the entire time. We see how his shoulder is ahead of 47's shoulder up here. That's going to keep his base and his leverage ahead of 47 to be able to just wall him out like that. And 47 is going to try and use some hand moves, right? He's using some hand moves trying to get off. Cross does a good job of being able to attach early onto his chest plate and hold on and brace, and then ultimately extend there when you get parallel to the quarterback, right? He's going to get here, and he's going to extend and use his length. One of the best things about Charles Cross is his ability to use his length and extend. That's a great example of it right there, right? He's going to do that and then use his other arm. Good length and you can have length, but you need to know how to use it. And Cross is one of those guys that knows how to use it. This is a great rep. I think just really showcases how good of a pass protector he is. So this plays another run plan again in this zone blocking scheme. it's more of a double. It should be a double team theoretically, because we're gonna have a play side run to this side. He's gonna come B gap. He's gonna come here, and this center's he's gonna come here, and this center's gonna be able to come up here. Then theoretically, you have tackle and guard to double team the defensive lineman up to the linebacker. Obviously, Bama's kind of has a weird linebacker scheme, so this guard is gonna end up going to the safety up here. But still, the guard doesn't really help Cross out, which kind of hurts him early on. But Cross does a good job of being able to find him, engage, and keep pushing him out. Unfortunately, he kind of just gets out of his way, and 47 is going to be able to get off the block and cause a person in the way for this running back. But what Cross does well is be able to finish there, try and slam him on the ground. I'd like a little bit more vertical push, and when I talked about earlier being able to use your not using your hands to block, this is a point in time where I need you to use your hands and start driving your feet. He does a good job of doing that early on, but pushing him vertically is going to be the more suitable option if he can get his hips over here and then try and drive him vertically. And that guard in that play should have really helped him out with that. He kind of just didn't really touch him. He kind of just, yeah. You got it? All right, cool. We're going to go up to the safety. He ends up whiffing the block on the safety. But anyway, Cross does a good job of initially attaching and trying to drive his feet. He just needs to keep going, try and get his hips a little bit more to the right. Again, I think he was more expecting a harder double team here with his guard, but he didn't end up getting that, which is why 47 was able to get free and get into that hole. But still, a really good effort by Cross. You just need him to finish a little bit better and try and use his feet and his athleticism to get over there. Right, and we haven't had many instances where Charles Cross has to get to the second level or block in the open space. We don't really have a good gauge on his athleticism, but here's a play that kind of is able to do that for us. It's going to be a screen, and we're going to see Cross right here. Set, and then 1001 go. It's a screen. He's coming up. Hey, watch out, man. You can't get hit like that. You got to keep your eyes inside, because you got a big 320-pound guy, 310-pound guy coming for you. He's going to take your head off, and that's good use of being able to find your blocker, be in the open field, and use his athleticism to get there. He knows where he's going. 14, unfortunately, doesn't know where he's going, but Cross is able to get in there, deliver a blow. If only the screen would have worked out. There was a lot of green space the Cross created, like right here. That would have been a touchdown, really, but still a really good job of him being able to 1001 go, be in the open field, and use his athleticism to get a good block going in the open field on that screen. Again, we talk about Cross as a pass protector. Here's a play, again, that kind of showcases how his leverage needs to be improved, how he could do a better job of being able to play. And part of that may be because he's playing so high. Look, he's even higher than the right tackle, and he plays pretty high. I'd like to see him lower his pad level as a whole. I think that would potentially help him. But right here, you have a really good example of that. 41 is just going to get right inside Charles Cross's chest plate and be able to drive him back, and that's not what you want to see. Again, Cross is somewhat able to recover and create an anchor, but I really want him right on the point of attack to be able to sink his hips right here, keep a wider base, because you see his foot is right here and his other foot is right here. That's not conducive to being a good blocker and being able to sink your hips and create that anchor. He eventually does that right here when his feet get square, but for now I need to see him do a better job of being able to stop that at that point of attack, be a little bit stronger in his lower body, and not give up so much ground. That's just a little nitpicky thing, really, because he's so good in pass protection. But it's certainly something that has been an issue and is an issue throughout most of his film. And ending on a good note here, we have a great pass protection rep that really showcases everything that I was talking about early on with Cross. This is going to be a Louis call for the offensive lineman, so it's a 5-man slide to the left. Cross theoretically should have C gap, 58 should have B gap, center should have this left side A, and so on and so forth. But what is a really good job is 42 is going to come through this B gap and eventually get displaced. Cross does a great job of being able to pick it up and being able to use his vision and IQ to finish this block, right? He sees it inside, and watch his helmet right here as he goes from the outside, feels the blocker coming inside because his right side arm is in that gap, and be able to turn his head, cover that up. They're going to do a little gap exchange. Doesn't work on Cross because he's able to feel it and use his instincts and vision to to shore that up and make sure that there's no funny business going on from the Alabama defense. And then 42 is no match for Cross just because Cross is stronger and controls the rep with length. Good pass protection rep overall, good kick step, and being able to set both laterally and vertically here to get upfield. And then again, I just love this fact, this ability to be able to sense it and then get inside and be able to defend that well, because otherwise some tackles would just let that happen and that'd be a sack all day for 42, but Cross was able to figure that out and make a play on it. Great job as a pass protector from Charles Cross. So as a whole, I think Charles Cross really has the opportunity and the potential to rise up a lot of draft boards, especially in January and February and March before the draft. I think he's a top 10 player, or he's a top 10 pick-worthy player. I think his ability as a pass protector is unmatched. I think he's one of the best pass protectors I've honestly ever watched. He just knows so much good technique and is so sound in how he plays with his balance and his kick step and whatnot. He's just a really good player as a whole. Sure, he doesn't rep a lot of runs, and obviously that means he's going to be worse at run than other tackles in the class would be, but he still is a very good player, and I think he's also very good in the run. He can fend for himself in the run. He's going to learn a lot more stuff on the NFL level and more balanced offenses, and I think he's going to pick it up quick the same way he picked up being able to be such a great pass protector quick. Another concern that a lot of people have, including myself, is his frame may not be up to par. It seems a little slim. He could definitely stand to fill out a little bit of weight. But as a whole, he's a really good pass protector, and he's my tackle too right now for a really good reason. I think he could end up, like I said, in that 6 to 10 range, especially because there's a lot of teams in that top 10 range that need tackles. And he's a guy that really shined on tape, and he's one of my guys this year. So Charles Cross, obviously, I love him, and I thought he deserved a film session, the next film session in 2022. So if you enjoyed this one, make sure to like and subscribe. We got a lot more content coming, some more defensive guys, so make sure to stay tuned. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.